Welcome to Bottom Line.
Northeast Live, the most viewed news channel in the region. On YouTube, unmatched coverage.
Trending issues of the day. Who are the newsmakers? Is the voice of the people reaching the corridors of power? Welcome to Bottom Line.
Northeast Live, the most viewed news channel in the region. On YouTube, unmatched coverage.
Trending issues of the day. Who are the newsmakers? Is the voice of the people reaching the corridors of power? Welcome to Bottom Line.
Evening Prime is brought to you by Misho, Amrutanjan Fruitnik Electro Plus, Dehydrate Feel Alive, TVS Jupiter 125, Zada Se Bhi Zada, Flipkart, India ka fashion capital, Everyday Spices, Leah Agarbatti, TVS Apache RTR, and Himalaya Purifying Neem Face Wash, Pimple Free Healthy Skin ka expert.
Ahead of NSCNIM's Emergency National Assembly, NSF delegation calls on collective leadership at Camp Hebron. NSF urges NSCNIM leadership to continue dialogue, say sources. Thousands take to the streets in Arunachal's Longding protesting taxation and abduction by underground groups. Enough is enough, say people of Tirap, Changlang, Longding area. 8 from Northeast among 685 who cleared UPSC examinations, 2 each from Assam, Nagaland and Manipur, and 1 each from Arunachal and Meghalaya make the cut. 1 killed and 4 injured in powerful IED blast in Manipur's Thobal district. Don't target innocents, says the Chief Minister N. Biren Singh. Chief Minister vows to bring perpetrators to book. NGO Coordination Committee in Mizoram launches indefinite blockade to prevent Chief Secretary from attending office. Demand for local Chief Secretary gains momentum. And alleged mastermind behind Battadrava arson case dies after being knocked down by police vehicle while trying to escape. Hello and welcome to Evening Prime. I'm Ronak and we start the bulletin with the big story related to the Naga peace talks. Ahead of the extremely rare emergency meeting of the NSCNIM National Assembly tomorrow, a delegation of the Naga Students Federation today held a nearly 3-hour-long meeting with members of the collective leadership of the NSCNIM. As per sources, the NSF delegation held a crucial discussion with NSCNIM leaders V.S. Atim, R.H. Rezing, and several other members of the collective leadership at Camp Hebron, the NSCNIM headquarters. Chuba Ozukum, the former president of the NSF and currently an advisor to the Naga Hoho, also accompanied the NSF delegation. Highly placed sources told Northeast Live that the NSF delegation, besides discussing the competencies, impressed upon the top NSCNIM leadership to continue the dialogue with the government of India until an honorable and acceptable solution to the Naga problem was arrived at. The NSF is understood to have impressed upon the fact that the NSCN-IM has been a key stakeholder in the Naga peace process, and therefore it was important for the group to be at the forefront of the negotiation process. All eyes are now on the NSCN-IM National Assembly meeting tomorrow because the group had in the past few days taken a decision not to engage further in peace talks with New Delhi. This was confirmed to our channel by the chairman of the ruling UDA government, T.R. Zeliang, yesterday. It was in view of the NSC-9 decision that Nagaland Chief Minister Nephew Rio and other top core committee members met the NSC-9 leaders led by V.S. Atem at the police complex in Chumukidima on Saturday. Chief Minister Rio and others impressed upon the NSC-9 leadership not to adopt such a rigid posture at this stage when the centre is keen on resolving the Naga issue. The core committee has since proposed that Assam Chief Minister and NEDA convener Himanta Biswa Sharma should play an active role in taking the peace process forward to its logical conclusion. The core committee has also informed the NSCN-IM leadership about its keenness to have Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma's active involvement from now onwards. And earlier, Northeast Live editor-in-chief Wasbir Hussain gave an insight into the big event tomorrow, that is the NSC-9 Emergency National Assembly, and also spoke on the significance of the NSF delegation's visit to Camp Hebron. Listen in. Wasbir, tomorrow is a big day as far as the Naga peace talks are concerned, with the NSC-9 Emergency National Assembly, I beg your pardon, set to take place. So we are getting inputs that various organizations are requesting the NSC-9 to continue the dialogue. So what are you picking up at this point in time, Wasbir?
Well, Ronak, at this point in time, even as we are speaking, a delegation of the Naga Students Federation, an influential civil society organization in the state, is meeting the NSC-IM top brass at Camp Hebron. Now, these meetings have assumed significance because after the Delhi meetings where the stakeholders, including the NSC-IM, had met the interlocutor A.K. Mishra and other government leaders, apart from leaders of the state government, the NSC-IM returned to Camp Hebron near Dimapur, Nagaland's commercial hub, and they had adopted a decision, they had taken a decision not to engage in any further discussions with the government of India. This was after their issue of flag and constitution were not accepted by the central government. That was what the impression given that the NSC-IM leadership got. They returned and they took a decision not to engage in any further discussions with the government of India. It was in this backdrop that the core committee, headed by Chief Minister Nephew Rio and other top leaders, had met the NSC-IM at the Chamukidima police complex on Saturday. The NSC-IM on that occasion was led by Mr. V.S. Atem. And therefore, now that the NSC-IM has called or summoned its very, very rare emergency meeting of its National Assembly that is going to be held tomorrow, this meeting by the NSC and NSF, the Naga Students Federation, has assumed a greater significance. Now we are getting reports that the NSF delegation, the Naga Students Federation delegation, will also impress upon the NSCIM leadership not to take such a hard stand and continue with the negotiations. The argument being put forward, according to sources, is that the NSCIM had been engaged in the peace process for the last 25 years and is one of the very, very vital or key stakeholders as far as the Naga peace talks are concerned. Therefore, the NSF is urging upon the NSC-IM not to withdraw from the peace process and take it through its logical end so that an acceptable and honorable solution to the Naga peace talks or Naga peace process can be arrived at. So this is a very crucial meeting. Now, let us talk about tomorrow's meeting. Now, we are getting to understand, for sources familiar with the NSC-IM, that in the course of the long Naga history, the National Assembly has not been held very many times. So this is a very, very rare meeting of the NSC-IM where its three wings, that is the civil wing, the military wing, and the parliamentary or the legislative wing leaders are going to attend. So this with me, I am holding with me the entire agenda of tomorrow's meeting of the National Assembly that the NSA and IM has convened. This is going to start at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow, 10:30 in the morning tomorrow, and this is going to take place at the General Headquarters Church of the Naga Army. So I believe this is going to be within the Camp Hebron complex near Dimapur, the Nagaland's commercial hub. The venue, as mentioned in this agenda, is the General Headquarters Church of the Naga Army, which I believe should be within the Camp Hebron complex. But anyway, that's a different matter. That's not important. But what is important is this meeting that is taking place at 10:30 a.m. Tomorrow. The moderator of this meeting will be Mr. K.K. Angami, member, collective leadership, caretaker, convener of the steering committee. And there will be recording secretaries, registration of delegates, and so on. And the meeting begins with an opening prayer by opening prayer, and of course there will be a speech by the NSC and IM chairman, opening remarks and opening address, Mr. Q Tuku, and after that there will be a report on the Naga political talks with the government of India. That is of course going to be delivered. The report is going to be put forward to the National Assembly by NSC and IM General Secretary Mr. Twingalang Muiva. And there will be discussions. After that, there is discussions on the Naga political talks, reaffirmation of the Naga national principle by Chairman of the NSC and IM, that is Q Tuku, and reaffirmation of Nagalim for Christ, as they have mentioned in this agenda, and that is also going to be by the chairman. So declaration of Naga National Prayer Day, again by the NSCNM chairman, confession and vow, mass prayer and benediction. So this is the entire agenda that Northeast Live has accessed. There might be changes, we don't know, but this is what we have with us at this point in time. There is going to be a report on the Naga political talks that is going to be placed before the National Assembly by NSCNIM chairman Twingalang Muiva, and there will be, of course, the entire National Assembly session is going to start with a prayer and then an opening address by NSCNIM chairman Mr. Q Tuku. So this is going to be a very, very crucial meeting where the NSCNIM is going to decide on its future course of action, whether they're going to continue with the dialogue or if is there an alternative. Now big questions are being asked. Can the NSCNIM withdraw from the Naga peace process? So these are some of the big questions that on which we're going to get the answers tomorrow.
Absolutely. So, Wasbir, at this point, can we say that tomorrow's Emergency National Assembly will be extremely crucial as far as the continuation of negotiations is concerned, Wasbir?
Absolutely, Ronak. The decision that the NSCNIM is going to take tomorrow at its National Assembly is going to decide the future of the Naga peace talks, at least from the NSCNIM's point of view. So whether the NSCNIM continues with the peace talks, whether they're going to stick to the demand, a core demand, as they said, of a flag and the constitution, whether they're going to walk the extra mile, reach an understanding that the government of India has already said that what we are given to understand by the co-chairman of the ruling United Democratic Alliance in Nagaland has gone on record many times in the last couple of days to say that the government of India is willing to allow the Nagas the use of the flag for cultural purposes, and also willing to get some kind of a reflection of the Naga statute or the Yuzabo into the Indian constitution. So there is the government of India, according to our understanding, and as stated by the co-chairman of the ruling UDA alliance government in Nagaland, Mr. Ajo Nenu, is that the government of India is willing to walk the extra mile in order to resolve the protracted Naga political issue, willing to allow the Nagas the use of the flag, but for cultural purposes, and also allow a reflection, also get a reflection of the Naga constitution or the Yozabo into the Indian constitution. Now, the big question is whether the NSCNIM is going to accept this offer, if I may use the word offer at this point in time, because the government of India or the interlocutor has not commented on this. But although the government of India and the interlocutor A.K. Mishra has not commented on this, a responsible leader like Mr. Azo Neno, who is the co-chairman of the ruling UDA alliance in Nagaland, has said that this is the offer by the government of India. All eyes on tomorrow's meeting. What kind of a decision is the NSCNIM going to take? Is the NSCNIM willing to continue with the talks? Will they or can they actually withdraw from the talks after 25 years in total disregard of Naga public opinion, which is in favor of peace? But yes, the NSCNIM has its point of view. It's a very old organization, but there are everybody is hoping, the government of Nagaland is hoping, the core committee is hoping that good sense will prevail. NSA and I, being one of the key stakeholders, will not withdraw from the peace process and take the lead in the negotiation so that an acceptable and honorable solution to the 7 decades or more Naga political problem is finally arrived at.
It's time for a short break now. More news and updates to follow on at the other side. Stay tuned. Northeast Live, the most viewed news channel in the region. On YouTube, unmatched coverage.
চাওচোন কোন নতুন খেলুৱৈ আহিছে
বজাই দিম আজি
মৰমেৰে বুজাম লাহে লাহে কৰি
তেওঁ আমাৰ মাত কথাই কয়
এয়াতো আমাৰেই মাত কথা যদি এক তেন্তে হৃদয়ো এক হোৱা উচিত বিমল কক ভাষা কেচৰি
সাধাৰণ ষ্টীল এনেকৈ পৰে মাইথন ষ্টীল এনেকৈ পৰে ধমকৈ
আনন্দৰ উৎসৱ বিহু আহিছে ঘৰে ঘৰে আহাৰৰ সোৱাদ জাগিছে Everyday Spices wishes you a happy Bihu. Everyday Spice.
आओ यहाँ बार बार खेलो झूमो कूदो यहाँ मस्ती में बड़े छोटे साथ आओ ऐश करो नाच गाओ मस्ती में आओ यहाँ बार बार खेलो झूमो कूदो यहाँ मस्ती में अच्छा
Introducing the new Suzuki Avenus, the sportiest, zippiest ride in town that's loaded with next generation GPS navigation.
সিমি কোড আছে
যদি মই কলোহেঁতেন আমি মাতিছো তেন্তে ওয়েট কৰালাহেঁতেন নহয় The new Suzuki Avenus, more zip for trip.
Welcome back, viewers, and on to another big story now. As many as 8 from the region cracked the UPSC examinations, the results of which were declared today. 2 candidates each from Assam, Nagaland, and Manipur, and 1 each from Meghalaya and Arunachal Pradesh have cleared the prestigious examination. From Assam, Shilpa Khanikar secured All India rank of 506, while Debajyoti Bormon achieved a rank of 639. Ankur Das from Meghalaya secured the 52nd rank. From Nagaland, Viku L. Achumi secured All India rank of 567th, while Imsanaro Walling secured All India rank of 585. The 2 from Manipur who cleared the examination are Wairokpam Punishiba Singh, who secured an All India rank of 238, while Makak Mayum Hosni Mubarak secured a rank of 575. Meanwhile, Arunachal's Teunzin Chonjam secured the 584th rank. Notably, a total of 685 candidates have passed their UPSC exams this year, with the top 3 candidates being girls. St. Stephen's alumnus Shruti Sharma topped the charts, followed by Ankita Agarwal and Gamini Singla. Meanwhile, our Chief of Bureau Arindam Das caught up with Assam's Shilpa Khanikar a short while ago. Take a look.
It is indeed a proud moment for the entire Northeast, with at least 8 from the region making it in the UPSC. And right now we have with us Shilpa Khanikar, who has secured the 506th position. Well, initial reaction.
Initial reaction was of shock and kind of disbelief, and then eventually it sinked in. So I was happy, more like relieved.
So everybody would like to know, how did you prepare for it?
Yeah. I started preparing for the CSE examination August September 2018, and it has been a 3.5 year long journey for me so far. And initially I got the guidance and support of my seniors like Ramanuj Hajarika. He's an ACS officer, Mridul Burman, and they helped me guided me through the process, that how I should proceed. So initial support was there, and I took classes for my optional with Shubhra Ranjan ma'am, and she was great. She also helped the students very much, and eventually I started preparing through internet resources as well, resources available on the YouTube, and notes and resources on Telegram. So this is how the journey started. It was full of ups and downs, mostly downs, but hopefully, so far I have reached there, hopefully better.
So, since when you have started preparing, and when was this aim of making it in the UPSC came in your mind?
Yeah, so it came in my mind just when I started. It was not something I was thinking from my early childhood. So it was something, it was not a in the moment thing, but I thought about it, I read about the different issues, and I realized that I have a sensitivity to social issues, and I would like to work in the administrative field, and that's when I decided that I would prepare for it. And it started a year after my graduation. I graduated, I worked for some time. After that, I left my job and I started preparing.
And what message you'd like to give to those aspirants of the UPSC?
Message to the aspirants. I think one thing that I would like to say is that we share a similar journey. Most of us is that we have most of us will go through a lot of moments where we'll be dejected and will not be able to find our name in the list, be it in the prelim stage, in the main stage, or in the interview stage. To realize that this is not unique, and that there are other people who are going through it, can help us in motivating us.
So people would like to know from you your educational background.
Yes. So I am an electrical engineer. I graduated in 2017 from NIT Silchar. And before that, I was in Cotton College, science background. And after that, I was working, and post which I started preparing.
Thank you very much. That was 506 rank in UPSC Silpa Khonikar talking exclusively to Northeast Live. Reporting from Guwahati, this is Arindam Das for Northeast Live.
Meanwhile, Northeast Live also caught up with Meghalaya's Ankur Das, who secured the 52nd All India rank.
So I've always wanted to join the civil services. It has been a dream right from my school days. And after my graduation in 2017, I devoted wholehearted preparation to this. So I gave my first attempt in 2018, and thereafter I couldn't succeed for the next 4 years. But this year, 2021, by the grace of God, I could get through mains, and I appeared for the interview, and finally today the results are out. So I prepared full time from Shillong, unlike many other candidates who prepare from Delhi. So that way, challenges were not there as such, because it's in the age of information technology, everything is available online. So I'm born and brought up in Shillong. I did my schooling from St. Andrews and my higher secondary from Army Public School in Shillong. Thereafter, I went to Amity University in Noida for my BTech in biotechnology. I graduated in 2017, and thereafter I've been preparing for it. So I would say there is no substitute for hard work. You have to work hard. You have to slog it. The exam is getting harder with every passing year. So you have to work hard, but at the same time, you also have to work smart. So I did not take any full-time coaching. I just joined a few test series in my previous attempts. This year, I did not. I was totally on my own, except for some mock interviews. I hope I get a chance to serve in the Northeast, and especially in Meghalaya. That is what I would want.
And meanwhile, Shruti Sharma, Ankita Agarwal, and Gamini Singla have secured the first, second, and third ranks respectively in the Civil Services Examination 2021, results of which were announced by the Union Public Service Commission today. Worth mentioning here, as many as 685 candidates have qualified for the prestigious test. Of the successful candidates, 244 are from the general category, 73 from economically weaker sections, 203 of other backward classes, 105 scheduled caste, and 60 from the scheduled tribes.
बिल्कुल expected नहीं था. I was very anxious about my result, but it's a pleasant surprise. I just got to know. I still can't get my head around it, but it's a great feeling. I just like to say that the journey required a lot of hard work. It required a lot of patience, and I think that only, and you should obviously also do what you like to do, and that will give you the required motivation to continue in this journey. So that was rewarding.
And we have a big breaking news coming in at this point in time, viewers. Abducted Gaon Bura of Chatong village in Arunachal Pradesh's Longding district has been released. That's right, viewers. As per inputs, Tingfo Luklam, who was abducted by suspected NSC and KYA insurgents on the 27th of May, was released at around 5 p.m. earlier this evening. This can be seen as a big development after massive protests erupted in Longding, with people taking to the streets, venting out their anger against incidents of unabated abductions and extortions. As for sources, the abductors had demanded a ransom of rupees 6 lakh, but it is immediately not known if any money was paid to ensure the safe release of Tingfo Lukam. So viewers, indeed a big development coming in from the frontier state and a big breaking news. Abducted Gaon Bura or village head of Chatong village in Arunachal's Longding district has now been released. As per inputs, Tingfo Lukam, who was abducted by suspected NSC and KYA insurgents on the 27th of May, was released at around 5 p.m. earlier this evening. This is a big development, viewers, keeping in mind that after the massive protests which erupted in Longding today, with people taking to the streets in thousands, venting out their anger against such incidents of frequent abductions and extortions. As per sources, the abductors had demanded a ransom of rupees 6 lakh, but it is not immediately known if any money was paid to ensure the safe release of the village head. Well, anger, frustration, and defiance, enough is enough, say residents of Arunachal Pradesh's Tirap, Changlang, and Longding districts, as they took to the streets in thousands, protesting against the illegal taxation and abduction carried out by underground groups, particularly the NSCN KYA. Frustrated with the frequent illegal taxation and abduction committed by the NSC and KYA in Tirap, Changlang, Longding belt, a mammoth gathering of over 5,000 people comprising of the residents of the area took part in a massive protest rally today against the insurgent activities. Series of protest rallies were held in Tirap, Changlang, and Longding districts, with the protest in Longding being the largest.
तो यहाँ से मोमेंट होके हम लोग डीसी ऑफिस पहुंचेगा। ये NSCN KY ने हम लोग को फ्रीक्वेंटली किडनैपिंग कर रहा है, इसीलिए हम लोग इसको किडनैपिंग नहीं होना है बोल के हम लोग ये प्रोटेस्ट रैली कर रहा है अभी।
So today is like one remarkable day where we all come together. We all come from, like, everyone's coming from different areas of Fancha Longding, and we come with a message where we stand against threatening, kidnapping, extortion, and atrocities.
Thank you, ma'am.
We would love to stay in peace, and we would ask for some humanity as well.
आज हम लोग जो प्रोटेस्ट किया कि एक दूसरा को खराब पाने के लिए, एक दूसरा को चोट लगाने के लिए नहीं है, क्योंकि यह हमारा जगह में 1995 से NSCN बोल के नाम सुना है और निकला है। उसके बाद में आज तक हम लोग देखा है कि कैसा इतना शांति से पब्लिक लोग नहीं मिलता है, थोड़ा दुख से भर रहा है। और स्पेशली दिस टाइम इन लोग 2-3 गंगबुरा मेंबर और लीडर लोग किडनैप करके रखा है, अभी भी 2 आदमी लोग वापस नहीं गए। ऐसा ना होने के लिए, इन लोग को दुख पहुंचाने के लिए, हम लोग को दुख पाने के लिए नहीं, इसी जगह में हम लोग के जगह में पीस चाहिए, शांति चाहिए, ताकि हम लोग अच्छे से जीना दें।
अप्रोक्सीमेटली यहाँ पर हमारा 3-4,000 जैसा होगा, वैसे एग्जैक्टली तो नहीं गिन पाया। और आज का प्रोटेस्ट तो वही है जो हम लोग ऑलरेडी प्ले कार्ड में लिखा हुआ है, और हम लोग ने मतलब ये डिमांड है कि जो हम लोग का टीसीएल आर्मी लोग को जो किडनैप करके जो टॉर्चर करता है, किडनैप करके जो डिमांड करता है, उसी का अगेंस्ट है। और हम आशा करता है कि आज का ये इतना सारा लोग इतना आवाज़ उठाने के बाद में ये बंद करेंगे, और गवर्नमेंट भी हमारा साथ देंगे। और अभी जितना तक भी 10 से ज़्यादा लोग को मतलब किडनैप कर चुका है, गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से कोई रिस्पॉन्स नहीं है, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एंड गवर्नमेंट ऑफ अरुणाचल प्रदेश के तरफ से। और दूसरा है कि NSCN KYA जो लोग हम किसी वो लोग का जो NSCN के साथ बोल के अगेंस्ट, हम लोग वो लोग सोचता है कि इस तरह का है, किसी फैक्शन के अगेंस्ट नहीं है, लेकिन उसके साथ अगेंस्ट है जो इलीगल काम करता है। पार्टिकुलर जो लोग है, जो लोग किडनैप करते हैं, वो हमारा वांचो लोग है, वांचो को किडनैप करता है। इस तरह का जो इलीगल एक्टिविटी जो नहीं करना चाहिए, अभी तक हम डिमांड करते रहेगा।
आज का इसका बाद में अच्छा रिजल्ट होना चाहिए कि हम लोग को बहुत यहाँ में बहुत तकलीफ से जी चुका है हम लोग अभी इस तक ना। हम लोग को मतलब बिना मतलब में किडनैपिंग होता है और फिर हम लोग को मतलब तरह तरह का मतलब डिमांड आता है, ऐसे करके कुछ साल से हम लोग अजीब से जी के आ रहे हैं।
हमारा TCL को शांति चाहिए और ये अभी जो फिलहाल हो रहा है कंडीशन किडनैपिंग वगैरह वो सब बंद होना चाहिए यहाँ पे।
The message is very loud and clear. The insurgent groups, they should understand that we too are humans, and then we also have our rights to live. Therefore, it is our appeal, a very strong appeal that हमको जीने दो. Let peace prevail in Longding district and also in the TCL region.
The protesters carried placards which slammed the NSC and KYA for the spate of kidnappings, extortions, collection of so-called house and indent taxes, besides others. The protests were led by the Wancho Council, and at least 30 villages each from over 60 villages in TCL took part in the protest. The Wanchos inhabiting the insurgency-affected Longding district turned up in large numbers to stage a massive protest rally against the illegal taxation and abduction being carried out by the NSC and KYA in the region. Holding placards and banners inscribed with "No extortion, no kidnapping, and no more humiliation," the angry youth and villagers shouted slogans against the atrocities. The deep resentment against the insurgent group was evident from the emotionally charged atmosphere during the protest rallies.
Public representation with two charters of demand. One is sealing of porous border, international border, Myanmar with India, so that the gateway of insurgent is stopped. And other demand, we are going to submit and place it rehabilitation package for the cadres who want to surrender and would like to come in the mainstream to lead a normal life. The people are very much unhappy over the frequent kidnapping. So through this platform, I would like to send the message of the voice of Vancho to the NSN KYA to shun the violence in the Tirap Changlang Longding region so that peace and tranquility is maintained and allow us to lead a normal life as the liberty we have been enshrined by the Constitution of India and as part of natural justice of the God.
Frequently 3-4 महीना हो चुका है कि हम लोग का वांचो, गांबूरास, GPC, GPM, PRI लीडर्स जो राजास उन लोग को किडनैप किया गया है. तो इसलिए हम लोग जो पब्लिक का सेंटीमेंट है, पब्लिक का मैसेज है NSN KYA को कि ऐसा ना करे और ले जाके थर्ड कंट्री में बर्मा में रख देता है. बर्मा में रख कर रैंसम मनी मांगता है, सौदा करता है. तो अभी भी ऑलरेडी उन लोग का कैप्टिव में 2 है, एक चातोंग का जीबी है और पुमाऊ का एक PRI लीडर है. अभी भी उन लोग का पास में बर्मा में कैप्टिव है. इसलिए ये आवाज़ है, ये पब्लिक का सेंटीमेंट है कि हम लोग एक तो मीडिया का जरिए हम लोग मैसेज NSN KYA को पहुंचा रहा हूं कि दोबारा ऐसा ना करे. इसलिए ये हम लोग आज ये बड़ा प्रोटेस्ट रैली TCL रीजन में इसलिए किया है.
The rally proceeded towards the Longding Deputy Commissioner's office, where the protesters submitted a memorandum to the DC.
So, sir, you have received this memorandum. What do you like?
Definitely, I have received it. I will further submit it to the main machineries of the state government, that is Governor, Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh, Chief Secretary, and all the prominent personalities of which has been mentioned in the memorandum today itself.
So, sir, what assurance would you like to give for the time being, at least?
This is the wish of the people, and they have submitted permission order, submitted a prayer for permission to conduct this protest rally. Then I had to give my permission yesterday, and it is the will and the wishes of the people of this district, and for the peace, tranquility, welfare, and individual and area development of these eastern three regions.
In the last couple of months, 11 cases of kidnappings for ransom have taken place in the TCL region. Locals are also reportedly forced to pay the so-called house and indent taxes. Moreover, 2 persons from Longding district are still in the captivity of NSC and KYA at the moment.
जो भी किडनैपिंग हो रहा है केवाई पार्टी इंसर्जेंसी के ग्रुप की तरफ से मैं इसको कंडेम करता हूँ। उसके बाद एक दुख की बात है, एक सेंटिमेंट है कि भारत को 15 अगस्त 1947 में आज़ादी मिल चुका है, लेकिन हमारा TCL एरिया में अभी तक आज़ादी नहीं मिला है। मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि हमारा जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट है, जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया है, जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ स्टेट है, क्या कर रहा है। हर दिन एक किडनैपिंग होता है। ऐसा लगता है कि सब्जी मंडी में जाके कोई सब्जी को ले जा रहा है, कोई आलू ले जा रहा है, कोई बंदा को भी ले जा रहा है। इसी तरह TCL में हर एक दिन एक ना एक, चाहे GB हो, चाहे PRA मेंबर्स हो, चाहे गांव के अथॉरिटीज हो, उसको ले जा रहा है। तो मैं गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया से भी, इसके बाद गवर्नमेंट ऑफ अरुणाचल से भी रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहता हूँ कि इसमें थोड़ा सा ध्यान दें। अभी यहाँ में घर हम बनाता है, लेकिन टैक्स हमको देना पड़ता है, घर का टैक्स पैसा हमको देना पड़ता है। कम से कम आदमी का टैक्सेशन तो नहीं लेने से ठीक है, तो हम लोग को पीस चाहिए। अभी 60 प्लस विलेजेस हैं, सभी राजा यहाँ में आगे बोलना मुश्किल है। ये सबका दिल का आवाज है, सबका सेंटीमेंट है। सभी राजा ने जो 60 प्लस जो जीबीस राजा है, सभी ने बोला है कि राजा को रिप्रेजेंट करो। मैं 60 प्लस वांचो राजा सभी वांचो के हित में मैं बोल रहा हूँ, we want peace, we want peace.
It's time for a short break now. More news and updates to follow on the other side. Stay tuned.
Northeast Live, the most viewed news channel in the region. On YouTube, unmatched coverage.
চাওচোন কোন নতুন খেলুৱৈ আহিছে
বজাই দিম আজি
মৰমেৰে বুজাম লাহে লাহে কৰি
তেওঁ আমাৰ মাত কথাই কয়
এয়াতো আমাৰেই মাত কথা মাত কথা যদি এক তেন্তে হৃদয়ো এক হোৱা উচিত विमल कौक भाषा केसरी
आओ यहाँ बार बार खेलो झूमो कूदो यहाँ मस्ती में बड़े छोटे साथ आओ ऐश करो नाच गाओ मस्ती में आओ यहाँ बार बार खेलो झूमो कूदो यहाँ मस्ती में
আনন্দৰ উৎসৱ বিহু আহিছে ঘৰে ঘৰে আহাৰৰ সোৱাদ জাগিছে এভৰিডে স্পাইচেছ উইশেছ ইউ এ হেপী বিহু
সাধারণ স্টিল এনেকৈ পৰে মাইথন স্টিল এনেকৈ পৰে ধমকৈ
आओ यहाँ बार बार खेलो झूमो कूदो यहाँ मस्ती में
You may not see much of us today, but we just want to let the people of Mizoram and especially the government that there are enthusiastic youth who are concerned about our environment and we are aware of what Felenu's protest and we are fully supporting our protest. This silent protest will go on as long as we feel our demand has not been met yet. The reason being is the NSIDCL have already been given a so-called notice by Mizoram Pollution Control Board twice last year, that is in September and December, but no action has been taken yet. And the reason we are protesting here today is that we demand urgent action taken by the government, by the Forest Department against NHIDCL for all the damage done and a proper environmental impact assessment is being done. So this protest will go on as long as it needs to be and as until we meet our demands and needs are being met. The recent talks that happened just this morning was pretty good, but it there's no assurance that they have not given us any assurance whatever they will take. But we'll wait for them a bit. But as while we are waiting for them, we will be sitting here. We cannot be sure of what the outcome will be. But yes, the protest will go on.
Rotfella News' main charge is that the huge quantity of soil excavated during the highway widening and construction process are being dumped on these slopes and are finding their way into a few key rivers that are choking the flow. These rivers, she says, are a source of sustenance for the people of Mizoram. Here, she highlighted that the developmental projects at the mouth of the Tlawang River has had terrible effects. All right, on to another big story now. The alleged mastermind behind the Batadrava arson case, Ashikul Islam, is dead. As per inputs, the accused, who was only arrested yesterday, died after he was knocked down by a police vehicle in Nogao after he escaped from the Nogao police custody. The incident reportedly took place when the police had taken him to his residence in Juria Sonaibari for carrying out investigation into the case. Subsequently, while coming back, the accused allegedly tried to escape by jumping off the vehicle in Raidongia area. However, he was knocked down by a second police van. It may be mentioned here that the police has recovered a .22 and a 7.65 pistol and several rounds of live bullets.
Ashikul Islamok আমি কালি কৰায়ত্ব কৰিছিলোঁ তাক ইণ্টাৰোগেশ্যন কৰাৰ পিছত তেওঁ এডমিট কৰিছে যে তেওঁৰ ঘৰত আৰ্মছ আছে আৰু আমি বিশেষকৈ বিচাৰি আছিলোঁ যে সেই ভিডিঅ'বিলাকত ওলাই আছিলে ৰঙা টি চাৰ্ট এটা পিন্ধি পিনে মানুহবোৰক উচতাই আছিলে চ' আমি তাৰ ঘৰত ৰঙা টি চাৰ্টটো আৰু আৰ্মছকেইটা বিচাৰি আমাৰ টীম গ'ল তাৰ ঘৰত আৰ্মছকেইটা পালে এটা 7.62 mm পিষ্টল এটা .22 পিষ্টল আৰু এমিউনিশ্যন পোৱা গ'ল 7টা গুলি পোৱা গৈছে আৰু ৰেড টি চাৰ্টটো আমি পালোঁ সেইখিনি চিজ কৰাৰ পিছত তেওঁক লৈ অনা হৈছিলে লৈ আনোতে ৰাইডিঙিয়াত তেওঁ গাড়ীৰ পৰা পলাবলৈ চেষ্টা কৰে তলত পৰিলে পিছফালৰ যোনটো গাড়ী আছিলে সেইটো খুন্দা লাগি পিনে তেওঁ আহত হয় আহত হোৱাৰ লগে লগে আমি হস্পিটেলত লৈ আহিলোঁ হস্পিটেলত ডক্টৰে ক'লে তেওঁ ঢুকাইছে বুলি আৰক্ষী গাড়ী আছিলে আমাৰ তিনিজন পুলিচ এজন SI আৰু এজন ড্ৰাইভাৰ কনষ্টেবল যোনে গাড়ী চলাই আছিলে আৰু এজন হোমগাৰ্ড ইনজৰ হৈছে তেওঁৰ মোবাইল ফোনটো আমি চিজ কৰিছোঁ তাৰ পৰা আমি আৰু টেকনিকেল এনালাইচিছ কৰি তাৰ পৰা আৰু কি ওলাই কাক ফোন কৰিছিলে কোনে তেওঁক এইবোৰ কৰিবলৈ তেওঁক যদি কোনোবাই ইনফ্লুৱেঞ্চ কৰিছিলে আমি সেইখিনি পাই যাম তাৰ পৰা ষ্টেটমেণ্ট গোটেইখিনি ৰেকৰ্ড কৰা আছে চাৰ্চ কৰিব যোৱাৰ আগতে আমি তেওঁক পুৰা ইণ্টাৰোগেশ্যন কৰিছোঁ ইণ্টাৰোগেশ্যন সেইখিনি আছে আমাৰ আমি জানাত তেওঁৰটো ক্ৰিমিনেল যোনটো বেকগ্ৰাউণ্ড আছে সি ডকাইতি এইবোৰতে ইনভলভ আছে চ' আমি ফাৰ্ডাৰ ইনভেষ্টিগেশ্যন আৰু আমি কৰিম তাৰপিছত আমি গম পাম কি হৈছে
We also have reactions coming in from Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma. Take a look.
মোক ৰাতিপুৱা পুলিচে জনাইছে যে এটা ৰোড এক্সিডেণ্টত তেখেতৰ মৃত্যু হৈছে বটদ্ৰৱা থানা জ্বলোৱাটো যিটো ঘটনা হৈছিল সেইটোৱে আমাক সকলোকে ক্ৰোধান্বিত কৰিছিলে আৰু মই ভাবোঁ যে আইনৰ মাজেৰে আৰক্ষীয়ে সকলোকে আদালতৰ মজিয়ালৈ লৈ আহিব পাৰিব শাস্তি পাব কিন্তু দুৰ্ঘটনাটো দুৰ্ঘটনাই গতিকে তাত মোৰ বিশেষ ক'বলগীয়া একো নাই আৰু কিয় জ্বলোৱা হ'ল কিয় এইটো কৰা হ'ল মই ভাবোঁ লাহে লাহে পুলিচে গোটেইখিনি কথা পোহৰলৈ আনিব পাৰিব
And shifting focus now, as many as 8 from the Northeast have cracked the UPSC examination, the results of which were declared today. 2 candidates each from Assam, Nagaland and Manipur and 1 each from Meghalaya and Arunachal Pradesh have cleared the prestigious examinations. From Nagaland, Viku L. Achumi secured All India rank of 567, while Imsenaro Walling secured All India rank of 585. We have first reactions coming in from Nagaland's Imsenaro Walling. Let's listen in.
My name is Imsenaro Walling. I was born and brought up in Mohokchong, Nagaland.
I studied in Jubilee Memorial School from kindergarten till 10th standard, and then I went to Shillong to pursue my 11th and 12th in Pine Mount School. I came to Delhi to pursue my undergraduate studies in physics at St. Stephen's College, University of Delhi. I feel very blessed. I thank God for this opportunity and for His grace, and I'm very happy that finally I could get through the exam. I kept specific targets, my daily targets, my weekly targets, and my monthly targets. I made sure that I completed them. Yes, definitely there were days when I could not achieve those targets, but I made sure that those things which I left out were covered up in the coming days. 6 days I would normally put in my effort, and then on a Sunday I would take an off to get some break and just go to church and meet up with friends and just hang out with them to get myself away from the preparation, and then I would get back to studies on Monday again. And during the first stage prelims, I gave about 50 to 60.
And with that, we've come to the end of our news bulletin. Stay tuned to Northeast Live for more news and updates. Thank you for watching.
Trending issues of the day. Who are the newsmakers? Is the voice of the people reaching